And both the press and the FBI abandoned any semblance of professionalism and took up the cause with a vengeance. And I think the real story here from the FBI's perspective is what an abomination this was, this so-called investigation. If it wasn't a witch hunt, it's a damn good imitation of one.
That was former Attorney General Bill Barr sounding off on the Durham report, saying it ultimately vindicates former President Trump. The White House, though, very different response on this one.
Does he agree with Special Counsel Durham that there needs to be wholesale changes at the FBI?
As you just stated in your question, we believe in an independent Department of Justice. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in Japan.
Yeah, we'll see you in Japan. Joining us now, member of the House Judiciary and Oversight Committee, Arizona Republican Congressman Andy Biggs. Congressman, it's always great to have you on the program. Thank you so much for being here. I want to get your reaction to how the White House is handling this, how many media outlets are handling it, basically saying that the Durham report, which did confirm everything that happened in the Russia hoax, they're calling it a nothing burger. Nothing new to see here. Having said that, it's really scary when you start to think about how deep President Trump used to call it the swamp. You can call it the deep state or whatever you want, especially as we're approaching another election. And we sort of see the consequences of what could happen here. I mean, is anybody going to be held accountable for the contents of what is in this report?
Well, I would certainly hope so, because when we start looking at this, you see a lot of this is being initiated by a campaign. And I don't know how you can say that this was independent here, because this was constructed to impact the election in and of itself. So as you go through and you read the Durham report, you're going to find that, hey, the candidate supposedly approved this action. And what was the action? It was to distract from the email problem that she was having, and it was to try to link Trump to something bad in this bogus allegation of him being controlled by the Russians. To me, as you read it, it truly does vindicate what Donald Trump says about a deep state that was actually corrupted for political purposes. And I think that's dangerous in a constitutional republic that builds everything on free, open, and reliable and ethical elections. And if we don't, and this I view this as using the police state to actually impact the electoral outcome, and that's dangerous as it gets.
Congressman, you said in response to the Durham report that somebody needs to go to jail, and that might be right. But I'm looking at it, and I'm not even seeing really anybody lose their job. I'm not seeing a noticeable change at the FBI. Now, the FBI says we've made lots of changes. Well, what are they exactly? It feels like there are no consequences here. We need something that looks like a new FBI, in my view, one that's free of the bias that's laid out in the Durham report. Are we going to get something new, or is it same old, same old?
Well, I'm afraid that under this administration who says, well, we want an independent DOJ and FBI, well, the reality is they're not independent. And so to hold somebody accountable, you're going to have to clean out all of the upper management and maybe some of the middle management. And you're going to have to go through and hold people accountable. And we're not to get a feel for this. We have documents we've requested from the FBI regarding other issues that are in other areas we're investigating. They won't turn those over to us. So it doesn't look to me, doesn't feel to me like they've made any changes of any substance. I think they're going to say, well, we've done a little rule here, we've done a little training here. That doesn't cut it, and it doesn't hold anybody accountable.
Congressman, I want to switch gears with you, if I can, while we have some time left, and go to the border. 6 people on the FBI watch list are arrested at the border in the last 2 days. But the president says the situation is under control. Watch.
Looking much better. Yeah, you see it.
You're from Arizona. What is it like? How do you feel?
Well, we don't think it's under control in Arizona. All those 6 that you're talking about, 5 were, I think, in Yuma sector, 1 were in Tucson sector. So all those 6 that they interdicted were in Arizona. But the bigger problem is we don't know who they didn't interdict. We don't know whether they're terrorists. We don't know if they're criminal gang members. We don't know if they're bringing drugs across. We don't know if they're bringing children in sex and human trafficking cases. it's a massive problem. And just yesterday, the Yuma facility, designed for 1,200, had something like 2,500 to 3,000 people in it. Tucson facility also overcrowded. Every facility that I'm hearing about for processing and detention is all overcrowded, and then they're just shipping people like just as quickly as they can to every part of the continental United States. It is not under control, regardless of what the administration says.
Well, Congressman, we appreciate you taking some time to chat with us here today. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.